everybody, thanks a lot for checking out my course. So in this video, we'll quickly go through the subjects that this course will cover. I was not kidding at all that this course will cover. I was not kidding at all when I said that this is a very comprehensive course indeed. So the whole course is split up in 7 sections, each covering an important subject that you will learn. The first section is where we're preparing ourselves to lift off and start coding. I'll explain why you have made the right decision. And we take a look inside why PSD to HTML conversion is a must-have skill for any web designer. Then, we showcase the final PSD design alongside the website, and I'm explaining to you how to ask for help if you get stuck. The second section is where we get our hands dirty. We're installing the right code editor alongside Photoshop, and then we are setting up our project environment. After this lecture, you can download the complete project files as well as my gift for you. The third section is where we are studying the Photoshop design itself. We are determining the size of the project and the fluid design. We are deciding the image structure to work with, and finally starting to slice up the design. I'll also show you how to implement Google fonts in your website. Last but not least, it is the helper classes explanation. What are they and why are they very useful? The fourth section is where we actually start to convert the Photoshop design into a functional website. We are coding and styling each section, implementing the previously cut images. We are also creating custom columns for manual responsiveness, later with the full width concept and the fluid design that this website will offer. The fifth section is where things get fun. We are setting up famous animation libraries to work with, and we are preparing for the infamous iPhone turn-on animations that you will love. After you've learned, you will use these skills that you've gained and you will be animating the rest of the website by yourself. Also, relative and absolute positioning will be explained alongside the z-index positioning. The next section is where we start making the website responsive from scratch. We will learn about what are media queries, and we will take advantage of those to create our website responsive. We'll also be creating a custom responsive navigation drop-down menu the easiest way. The last section is where we say goodbye and where I give you the final project challenge that you will be asked to complete with the skills you've gained, and you'll be taking a random PSD design and converting it in your own functional website. But that's not all, because more bonus lectures will be added and are coming to the course over time. So in this course, you are going to learn a lot. If this sounds exciting to you, jump right into the course and I'll see you there. Alright guys, welcome back to a new lecture here. We're just starting off with our course. But before we do that, actually, I want to take a few minutes and talk about why PSD to HTML5 conversion is a mandatory skill for any web designer or developer. So the first thing is that with PSD and with Photoshop, you have complete freedom of how your website is going to look like. Unlike WordPress, where website creation is dragging and dropping divs and styles, where you can get your website done within minutes, but that requires no particular skill set, and you are pretty much limited to the options that WordPress can offer. But with PSD, it's completely up to you on how you design your website. Alright, so we've got that covered. Next up is It plays a huge role in the natural process when building websites. It is the old school way, and many times when working in companies, you will be given a finished PSD design, or you will need to design yourself this website, and after that, when you have the final Photoshop file, you will be asked from the employer or from your boss to convert it into a fully functional website. And that's actually our third point here, which says that employers love employees who have this skill set. Probably when you will be going to some company as a web designer intern, or maybe working in some company, or if you're an aspiring web designer, trust me guys, PSD to HTML is the ground set. It is the baseline of the web design that will continue to build up on that. It is the must-have skill for any aspiring web designer, a web designer to be, or a current web designer. And last but not least, this is the most important one. It is a worthy skill to have. Now, what do I mean by worthy skill to have? Let's take a live, real look at some PSD to HTML5 conversion services and how much they charge. Okay, let's check this now. Open up your browser, in my case it's Chrome, and go to Google and then write PSD to HTML conversion services. Alright, and I'm just going to press on this first link here. These two are ads, we don't want those. I'm just going to press on this first link here, this company which is called Sparks Solutions, or Sparks IT Solutions, and let's check how much they charge for a single PSD to HTML5 conversion. Alright, so this is the panel here. As we can see, for a single homepage that we will be creating during our course, they charge $49, and that's only converting the homepage. What if we want to add some more pages, some inner pages within this website? So let's say that I want to create 3 inner pages. That will cost me plus $87, which is a total of $136 just for 4 web pages. Now that's a lot. Now that's only for a single website, as I said, but if you want multiple options, let's say that you want a 960 responsive grid, then you need to pay additional $19. If you want to have a fail icon that is cross-platform available, you will need to pay additional $9. Or let's see some more options here. If the layout you want it to be flexible, which means responsive, flexible with percentages, you're gonna need to pay additional $40. If you want the content to be vertically aligned, you need to pay additional $5. Now, this is countless, and what my point is that I'm not trying to discourage this company here. Sparks IT is one of the best companies to convert a PSD to an HTML5 website, but what my point here is that you're learning a valuable skill set which will be added to your skill palette, if I can say so. And trust me, after this course you will have necessary information and necessary skills to even start freelancing on sites like Odesk or sites like freelance.com. You can offer PSD to HTML services, whether it's for a client or a company. You will have the foundation of this skill set. You will then learn even more as we dive deeper. You will learn techniques and all this within a single course with a couple of hours. Now, what are you waiting for? Jump on and join me. Hey guys, thank you for joining me back. In this lecture, we are going to be going through the final PSD design that we're going to be converting into a fully functional website. So stay tuned. Stuck during this, we are back here. Let's open up the final finished PSD file here, and it's going to take a while because it's a big file. and this is the welcoming screen when opening Photoshop. So in case you're getting this missing fonts window, just press on cancel and you should be good to go. So this is the final website that we are actually going to build, and let's just zoom in here. First select your move tool and just press on Ctrl and plus to zoom in. So I pressed Ctrl and plus 3 times, and now you can see the finished PSD design. Here we have the hero section, which is going to be our first section. We're going to code this on the beginning. We have here an iPhone which we need to crop off the PSD, but we're going to do that in the later lectures. Now we have this logo here, which is also an image, some text, and the button, the call to action button here, which has a little iPhone icon. Now we have the navigation menu here with this effect on hover. We are going to be going through that as well. We have the background image with some effect here, some reddish effect that we're going to achieve that with CSS. Scrolling down, we have the app features section, which is consisted of 3 columns here, the title and some paragraph. The thing with these columns is that we're not going to be using any kind of template or framework. We're going to make these columns responsive with pure HTML5 and pure CSS3, so no frameworks, no shortcuts, and they're gonna be fully responsive by the end of the course. Continuing on, we have the big nose section here, because this lady here has a big nose. We have some background image with the lady, and then we have these text line to the left, as well as a download button, which we will be going through in this course. Continuing on, we have the footer section. Again, we have this image here of the logo, and then we have 3 columns with popular posts, tweets, and about section for our imaginary company. We're going to be coding this again from scratch with pure HTML. We're just going to need to crop off these pictures, these example pictures here, but of course these will be just placeholders. I'm going to explain how to do that. And last, we have the copyright section here with 3 of the icons, social icons, Facebook, Dribble, and Twitter. The copyright, my name, and my website here. We're gonna need to crop these Facebook and Dribble and Twitter images respectively. So here is the Facebook, for example, as you can see, to get a better view of the Facebook icon, and we're gonna be cropping those in the later lectures here. So basically that's the whole website that we're going to be building. Now, if your first impression is that the website is too short, let me tell you something. The point of this course is to convert a PSD file to a fully functional website. Now, once you have this skill, once you have the foundation of this technique, you will not have any problems converting any given PSD file, no matter its size, no matter how large it is, no matter how long the file is. You will have the foundation after completing this course to be building any kind of PSD design from scratch. So now that we've got that covered, let's continue to the next section where I briefly explain on how to ask for help if you get. Hey guys, thank you for joining me back again. In this lecture, I'm going to show you the final build of the website that we are actually going to be creating throughout the course. So let's get into it. The file here of the final finished website, that it is going to be downloadable in the project files section, which I believe is the last of this section here. So make sure that you're gonna download these files, as they will be the finished files for your reference and help if you get stuck. So let's open this up here, and we have the index.js folder, img folder, with all the imgs sliced up from the PSD file. Then the CSS with the animate library, the font that we're going to be using, queries and style, and in JS folder we have a waypoints plugin, and then the jQuery itself and our main.js file. And this is the index file, which I will be opening right now. And let's see what happens here. Hold on. That animation, we are going to be building it from scratch. And it's actually one of the coolest animations I've ever built. And the good part is that I'll be teaching you how to do this from scratch. So let's just refresh one more time to see what has happened. We see that the iPhone is showing up and it's off, and then this button is clicking, and then the iPhone turns on. Let's try again. Watch how this button clicks itself and the iPhone turns on. Boom. That's cool, right? So I'll be teaching you how to do that from scratch, so stay tuned in this course. It's going to be in some of the later sections where we are actually done with the actual website. But let's get back on our website here. This is the final website that we're actually going to be building, and we have here the logo, which is clickable, and the navigation links here, which have this effect on hover, just like in the PSD design. And this is the button here, and also it has an effect on hover. The app features, I decided to use some cool animations for these columns and these images, so everything looks smooth. Back here we have this lady with the big nose and this animation that pops up from the left here with the download button. Scrolling down the footer, again with a really nice effect of these columns popping up, and the copyright section, which also has an animation, but I'm not sure if you saw it, so let's just refresh one more time. And if we go, you can see how the footer, or the copyright, I'm sorry, just pops from the top. So that's pretty cool, right? The best thing about this website is that it is fully responsive and fits on every screen size, and let's prove that. So this is the really small screen here that we have. So we already have this hamburger menu, which again is done with pure HTML and no frameworks. If we click that, it works perfect. It may be not the best looking menu, but it's working. And again, this course is not about programming, so that's why I did not want to go really in depth about this navigation responsive button, but the point is that it is working and you can change the style of this to your liking. So we got that covered, but we see that it is fully responsible here. The app features, the columns with the images chopped off the PSD are stacking one on top of the other one. Again, no framework like Bootstrap. We have this lady here, which is disappear, because that's the thing we need to do, because we need this text to be on focus of the user. And then the footer is also stacked on top of the other one, and we have the copyright section along with the website and the icons. And if we make the screen bigger, we can see the fluid design that I've prepared for you, which is totally polished with not a single bug here. As we see, the iPhone has to disappear because it's taking a lot of space, which is not really a good practice. When people are visiting your website on the mobile, they would want to see the text and the point of this application, and this iPhone image interferes with that. So that's why at a different, or at a given breakpoint, I've made this iPhone disappear, and this whole text is taking up its place along with the call to action button here. So that's basically it, guys. If you're excited to transform this PSD to such a beautiful, functional, responsive website without any frameworks or any shortcuts, please continue on watching this course, and I hope that you enjoy. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you.